levels of expectations is always here. And of course, we see my guy CD Lamb high pointing the ball. This is a catch drill, by the way. And the most important thing that I see from this particular picture, Michael Gallup watching, right? And I know he's not just watching, he is also at the OTAs. Last season, around this time, he was not available because he was still going through recovery. Now that I said all of that to say this, that all of these guys should be a tick better than what they were last season. And when we think about it, we already know that when Gallup get a chance to be springy and high point the ball and come down and secure, you don't see any brace on his legs or what have you, it's about to get good for us. And I can't wait. And I know last season he didn't play up to the level of what we used to seeing, and he had some high games, some low games. So I can tell you right now, he is confident. I don't see any braces on his legs or anything of that nature. So his mindset is all about the mind, Cowboy Nation. And if you can get that mind clear, man, everything else will open up for you. So shout out to him. And not just him, we got Brandon Cooks. He is also a veteran guy. And we can see Simi soaking in all what this dude is bringing out, right? And on top of that, we got to look at it from this aspect of it. Cooks wasn't here last year as well, right? We had another guy by the name of James Washington, right? And on top of that, the Noah Browns of the world. Now, I'm not here to say who's better, right? But I'm going to say who's better. Right now, Brandon Cooks is better than both of those boys. So just by Cooks alone, we are better in the wide receiver room. If we were able to win 12 games last season, well, you can literally say, well, Brandon Cook should be at least a +1 game guy, right? So this should be at least a +1 game. I'm going to say, man, he may be a +2 games. And that's what he's going to bring to the table if he can remain healthy, right? So we're looking at this in OTAs. Can they go through and soak in all of the information, Simi Fehoko, and can they learn the new flavor of this offense? And I can't wait to see these guys out there on the field. Now, of course, we see right tackle Tyron Smith. He's going to be that guy. And sneakily, you see Eric Scott Jr. getting first team reps. And that's a whole nother storyline right here on the defensive side. And we do see right guard Joshua Ball. Now, I'm like Dr. Strange. I'm thinking of a million possibilities of him not being one of the starters here. Nevertheless, if you were to say anything good about Josh Ball, would be his run blocking, right? So he's out there, and Solari like to take these tackles and slide them down inside and utilize those boys as guard. He want athletic guard. So we even seen Matt Waletzko kicked inside. We seen Farniak, he's naturally a interior guy, so we seen that. Chuma Edoga, he's going to be kicked inside. Awesome Richards will be kicked inside. So we're seeing a lot of that with the Dallas Cowboys, and it is what it is at this point and at this time. So shout out to those boys. And when we think of it, Tyron Smith, his contract and his whole body of work, on one end you can say, hey, he would not play all 17 weeks, but on the other end you would look at his contract and say, man, that's a nice contract because it's incentive-based contract. So we love those type of contracts, by the way. And if it's anything, all veteran guys should have those type of contracts. Now, of course, we see my guy Parsons, we see Dono, those boys right there, two of your most explosive guys out there. And I'm looking for Parsons to elevate his game even more, right? This is a resume that you have to say, man, the first few years, man, Parsons been lighting it up, and he's still hungry. The man is super hungry, and he's working out all off season to prove that he is the best defensive player in the game. Now, of course, we see CD Lamb. We heard storylines of him being one of the best wide receivers in route running. We hear his peers giving him high reviews. Far as Devontae Adams, who is one of the best wide receivers in the game, Tyreek Hill, one of the best wide receivers in the game. They are putting CeeDee Lamb in those same groups. I can't wait. I heard earlier today on 105.3 The Fan, even Brandon Cooks putting CeeDee Lamb up there, right, as an explosive guy that's going to just be crazy in this offense even more because some of the attention is going to be on him, right? So CeeDee Lamb, continue to do your thing because we know 88 is always a high looked upon number, and we need to see that number continue to shine here in Cowboys land, which we can all say that this is a contract year for him, even though he signed his 5th-year option, right? And of course, when you look up the trio package, I'm calling it the Big Three. I know we think of Big Three, we think of Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, the playmaker.
You want to talk about a playmaker? That's a playmaker. He made the play.
That type of stuff. But I'm saying the Big Three out of the wide receivers, not the big three, right? The trio. No. Some people say, hey, Lord, just stop it. Yeah, I feel y'all. But, man, we just having a conversation here, right? You see Brandon Cooks, right, on the outside who can stretch. He can run a seam from here. You seeing my guy CeeDee Lamb with the two-way goals, right? And then you can just run him on a fade ball right here. So now the opposing teams, they got too many things to think about. They got too many things to think about. Him on a seam. He got two-way goals, right? Or he can drop back right here, and Dak can hit him underneath. And then this dude, he can catch the fade ball like no other, man. So I love seeing this. And of course, we see our tight ends in the back over here. And we heard that also, not in this particular picture, but we heard also that Hunter Lukey, he's getting some first-team reps. So this is always a great thing to see, Cowboy Nation. And I love what I'm seeing and hearing from OTAs. And speaking of that, this guy right here, the man, Dan Quinn, like I said, Eric Scott is already getting good reviews and getting first-team reps with the first team on defense. So pay attention to number 37. And, hey, Mississippi guys, he went to USM. So that's the same school that Brett Favre went to. That's down there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You know how I go. And then we got Mal Brooks over here. So Cowboys known to find these gems, the diamond in the rough type of groove. And you got Dan Quinn with the master plan. Shoot, a lot of things can go the best way possible, Cowboy Nation. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. I can't wait to see these young DBs get theirs out of the mud. DC for life. Salute.